the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Be the first to know Nsem-Pii na wo so we. Okudzeto ablakwa ama Mahama ene ahokyere abetono so pa. Nsem keka ogusu a wokeka mra na eye omo opposition na no den etwa track ese de to eye his excellency na nanda Kufuor so te odware wo eye epum cheze swimming pool ewo eye ewiem. In fact, sika kesiye na his excellency boga na kai e kan se bebre na ene ayi abono a Animguaseẹ ne aniwu ato no is due to a crasher happening ene amanfo ehun say his excellency na nada Kufuor dwumo di ye no na de pa na wandi nkofo bi ano achi kane ko no so sabi kene ni se yesu etwa jadoi na obi eden sama ba wo chese because of Okudzeto black one nsem okeke yen nti ama Mahama we say odi ne nsem so because Okudzeto so obe resign say his excellency for any private jet pe obe resign okan wo shebo ama yebusa na say nti we sure so betima di say dwuma no wo se ane obeye ne say nti obi ede abetu dwe chirimu say John Domani Mahama wakostake in fact ne ho ko kire no because of Okudzeto hu nsem okokan okoduru Dubai free Ghana ha Sunday anopa emadwume 6 p.m. Okoduru Dubai in fact Dubai acha 7 to 8 hours there also waduru okoduru Dubai no also was spending 22 good hours airport because flight ko Japan no Tokyo no also was 22 hours and son okopie ene anope 6 a.m. ene wakoduru Dubai Japan omontimi ensa kano because of Okudzeto blakwa ensemu a waka ene esoso omonda ye no akofa asem na aba Mahama stake wo Dubai for almost 22 good hours na nsemu na obidi tudwa wo kire mu a wo se akwa dwumedi a wodi ye bu a ndc momba power no ene aba hante wo mu pa na yesi Mahama bofu na obe sende foreign minister expect say the new defense minister so obeba no omumbeye apology kese emfama Ghana for because omuhu ni say cause a lot of havoc for the president the travels obeko na mu ko tiensemu a obi editudwa
it are come to that agreement say nioma we mo de as on mine we will not touch it ye propaganda ne enu ho say ye petumi a ye mfa ye nsem enko sa nioma ne so we should keep those things as sacrosanct sacred as much as possible bakon the safety the security of the number one gentleman of the land, the president of the republic. Unim se enra President John Dramani Mahama Animguaseẹ enumrebe nunsia ena otu free Accra on an Emirates airline flight to Dubai. And Muamako Dubai dan I mean roughly from Ghana to Dubai roughly 7-8 hours. Ubedi. Enti President Mahama free Ghana enra kwesiada enumrebe nunsia no okodru Dubai time 6 a.m. anopa nunsia Dubai time eno kokodu ye anopa nunsia Dubai time 6 a.m. Do you know sir the president had to wait in Dubai na e was so train with Dubai for 22 hours 22 hours and a train with Dubai just to catch connecting flight or the beko Tokyo Japan inti odru 6 a.m. which is Monday anopa Dubai time 6 a.m. no otu free Dubai Tuesday ahomache 2:40 a.m. from Dubai to Japan and he waited in Dubai for 22 hours the president of the Republic of Ghana on an official trip for 22 hours from Dubai to Tokyo, odi a 9-hour flight. It odi 9 hours on the flight. Odru Tokyo conference now all konebeba so ewo Yokohama. Ain't from Tokyo to Yokohama, and also a 2 hours 30 minutes on train. And the president was in a train, public passenger train. And or the free Tokyo Echo Yokohama, 2.5 hours. The president of the republic, and all of the president has to go through all this stress because of maybe politics. And I think for me, that is the biggest takeout from Sir. But why in heaven's name should our president go through the stress on an official visit? Because of free Japan, he is going to Singapore. No free Singapore assign Abba back to Ghana. And look at him going through all these stress again. But Sentinel anything time NDC ewo opposition. Na omo pre ape to me no in Nsem-Pii NDC fo bi ekeka ever presidential travel so inti enne even when President Air call a long haul trip say e bia nkonya a cute private jet bi de betimi afa no ne entourage e de won wakwa direct near the one akọ. But look at the stress. Look at the stress. Look at the stress. For the president will wait in Dubai for 22 hours. 22 hours. And now no pay Ofrigana Sunday. Ofrigana Sunday. And anopa. And do Japan. Can you even believe it? You know. But because of Nsem-Pii ya kika say yepetumia. Edi nobody can say omampenyi charter flight and our charter jet. Uncover the most expensive, ostentatious private jet. If that happens, we have to criticize it. But we should not demonize the fact say omampenyi airfa private jet. But we saw that happen in this country. And the number one culprit, Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. You know, and some of these truths would have to be, we have to say them. Because ya nyanesa na ya clean slate no and open fresh page. This clearly cannot go on because we cannot subject our president to some of these things. I mean, to wait for 22 hours. 22 hours. It's unbelievable. You know, it's unbelievable. And say abai beka private jet, make say private jet. Presidential jet wasem krana na etwetwe wombo. Why? Because we're in this country when a member of parliament said oh, presidential jet engine here miensa se ba ko say kra etimi rane e wo mienu aka. Can you believe it? Can you really believe that? And I believe if we want to have a conversation around retooling the Ghana Armed Forces, because I'm also here some new helicopters, at least from what has happened. If we need to have a conversation around acquiring a new presidential jet for the president, I think that conversation cannot be had until some public apology is rendered. And it's something that should happen. It's something that should happen. Because as I've said, the president cannot suffer for some indiscretion on the part of some of his party members who are now ministers of state. But how should a president traveling on a state visit move from Ghana Sunday and get to the destination Wednesday anopa? Really? To be waiting 22 hours transit ewo Dubai. Na watna train move from Tokyo to Yokohama, public train, passenger train, 2.5 hours. How should that happen? How should that happen? I am thinking, sir, if we would have this conversation around retooling the Ghana Armed Forces, around, if possible, sir, we would acquire even a new presidential jet. But that would have to go to bureau. We are told, sir, the presidential jet currently, France, our emotional rehabilitation. That process should continue, and we should get all our experts to go and examine that presidential jet and see status a womb. But I think the most important thing is a public apology. I would think, sir, the president would have to impress on his Minister of Foreign Affairs to apologize to the Ghanaian people. Of course, I would agree with him on the criticism of maybe the kind of presidential jet and a chartered flight and another FI. Maybe it was too ostentatious. I mean, we can go into that argument and look at the hiring price, any BBR. But the comment he made about the presidential jet, that it was in very pristine, and the mass I word nekrabe popular, pristine condition. If it was in pristine condition, then 8 months down the line, we cannot be having a conversation around acquiring a new presidential jet. And that's what I'm saying, sir. If we would have that conversation, then some apology would have to be rendered. It has to be rendered because that conversation cannot be had. But we need to have that conversation because this stress our manpenyi go through should not be made to continue. No, it shouldn't. And I've said, sir, before we have that conversation, some apology would have to be rendered. We need to instill some principle in our politics. And people should be held responsible for what they say. It shouldn't be business as usual. No. People should be held responsible for the things they say. Because if you say, sir, the presidential jet then, 8 months ago, was in pristine condition, and that 3 engines, two, no bet me around here. And that is why we are here. I also am paying almost 3 days to get to the destination from Ghana. You know, we need to open up and have that conversation. But some apologies would have to be rendered. I mean, I am looking at the president maybe instructing the minister, maybe the new Minister of Defense or Befa, the Minister of Interior, the Minister of Finance, and the Foreign Affairs Minister on one platform addressing the country. And in that address, the Foreign Affairs Minister would have to render an apology to the Ghanaian people. Say, the flight was in pristine condition. Presidential jet was in pristine condition. I didn't have all the information because it's clear. Say, all the information was not there. And I say, no information, but it was just propaganda as usual. And I believe we have to attach all the seriousness to this matter, but apologies would have to be rendered. Because this is unbelievable. I mean, for the president to be waiting for 22 hours, really, it's not cool. It's not cool. And if it means we have to get a new presidential jet, we need to have that conversation. You know, but first, some public apology would have to be rendered. It's only fair that happens. It's only fair that happens. Mediano ebesiana ya twaso ko si senso ni.
Nsem-Pii TV nie